Now we will learn some terms which is used in biotechnology, could be handy for future concepts actually. Okay, so first we will go with this. You are familiar with this word, oocyte. It is also called as origin of replication. So origin of replication. I'll explain it one by one. Okay, so second one is recombinant DNA. You have already studied, know about recombinant DNA. Third one, we'll go with this word, that is cloning. When I was discussing about reproduction in organism, I discussed about this particular term, clone. But here it's bit different. The definition is bit different. Okay, cloning. Next, the fourth one is the plasmid. Okay, plasmid. It's normally present in the bacteria as extra chromosomal DNA along with the main DNA. Okay, so we'll go with the next important term. See, this is very important. You get this question. That is palindromic sequences or palindromic sequence. It's very important actually for the biotechnology or genetic engineering. Very important palindromic sequence because it has got certain nitrogenous base pairs which reads the same. I'll talk about it. Okay. The next is transformation. I think you know about this word. Transformation is when any living organism takes up a foreign DNA, it gets transformed. You know about it. Griffith's transforming principle, same transformation. So what is this oocyte? That is origin of replication. We know about it. We have already studied. If you take the DNA, you take any DNA. So yes. So this is actually a double stranded DNA. And suppose I use a color chalk. Okay. Suppose this is my gene of interest. Okay, which is present in a living organism's DNA. Somehow, I have extracted or isolated this gene of interest from that living organism. See, you could see a small fragment of that gene of interest. That gene is now being isolated. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach or insert this piece of DNA into another organism's DNA that acts like a potential vector. That is, could be a plasmid, cosmid or TI plasmid, whatever the type of vectors you have studied in the previous session. Okay, so this is now vector. And now I am going to insert this particular DNA. So I am going to just draw a single stranded DNA. Okay, for your understanding, let us go with double stranded. Even the plasmid or vectors should be double stranded DNA, which should be similar to the DNA or gene which is taken out from a living organism. Similarity should be there. Otherwise, it's very difficult to ligate. It's very difficult to join these two different types of DNA. Okay. So, and here also we draw the double stranded DNA. So, white piece is gene of interest, and this is the vector. Yes. Okay. Now I have constructed recombinant DNA which contains two different types of DNA or genes. Okay, now what I am going to do is I will transfer this into a host organism. Okay, you can take any host organism. In this case, let me just consider a simple bacteria, that is E. coli. Okay, E. coli is nowadays experimental bacteria actually. It's very easy to get, it's very easy to culture also in the lab. So I have transferred this rDNA into this E. coli. Okay, so the thing is, inside this is now host organism, correct? Host organism containing a foreign DNA as well as a vector DNA. Both the DNAs are now actually foreign for this particular E. coli. The thing is, this particular vector got its own character. That is actually nothing but it can replicate anytime, anywhere. It's independent. Okay, so if it doesn't contain the replication site, for example, this particular vector I have already cut. If you take a vector, clean vector, the vector will be circular like this, full, containing double stranded DNA with all the nitrogenous bases. And for the ligation purpose, for the insertion of a gene of interest, I have actually cut some piece of it, correct? I have removed it. So some part is lost, some part is gone actually from the vector. For suppose, when I remove this piece from the vector, suppose earlier there was a site which is actually the oocyte which was deleted. deleted. For example, during the process, I have removed this ORI site along with that piece. So even after that, I am going to insert the gene of interest into this particular vector and I will insert it into the host organism. Do you think that replication is possible? No. So for the replication of the recombinant DNA, what is important? It should express a site that is ORI site. That means I should be very careful when I cut this vector. That means exactly here I need to leave the ORI site. Okay, please note one point. I am going to attach this gene of interest into the ORI site of the vector. See, so I have used the white color. This is ORI site. Now to the exactly to the ORI site of the vector, I have to attach this gene of interest taken from a living organism, foreign DNA actually. Got it? Then only, so this is the site where ORI site is there on the vector, so it's going to replicate. So that means when the bacteria grows in a particular culture medium, like we have to give some food medium, culture medium. So because of that, it also starts showing the growth. So while bacteria is growing, the growth phase, not division phase, only growth, increase in its cytoplasm, content, everything. So at that time, this particular rDNA also multiplies. So please note one point, it is nothing to do with the multiplication of the bacteria. Got it? It is independent. Within the bacteria, within the single bacteria, I have inserted only one recombinant DNA, but now I have two, but bacteria remains as it is. Okay, again, it undergoes further multiplication because of the ORI site replication. So I have three now, three recombinant DNA, and this process is nothing but cloning. Got it? Getting the identical copies of the DNA. It could be recombinant DNA, or it could be foreign DNA, or it could be vector DNA, whatever the types of DNA in the biotechnology. That is called as cloning. So identical copies of DNA, IcDNA, identical copies of DNA, that is called as cloning. And ORI site is very important. Without ORI site, you will not get this. And after that, what's going to happen? I have got 3 rDNA now because of the cloning mechanism. At the same time, after 20 minutes, this E. coli divides. So 3 rDNA goes to this particular, this one, and 3 goes to this. That's it. Got it? So that means equal sharing of the recombinant takes place. Again, the number increases. If you see after some time, let us say like after 1 hour, I have got around 40-50 E. coli. Okay, so in a Petri plate, so this is E. coli in a Petri plate. The number of recombinant DNA in each E. coli varies. For example, in this case, I have got 10 recombinant DNA. In this case, I have got 15 recombinant DNA. In this case, I have got 20 recombinant DNA. In this case, maybe like 100. That means the number of recombinant DNA varies from cell to cell, even though I have initiated from a single cell. Got it? Why? Reason is this. What is plasmid? Very simple to remember. Remember this code. RKCD. Autonomously replicating circular extra chromosomal DNA. Got it? Autonomously replicating circular. It is circular. Yes. See this is circular. Okay. It can replicate anywhere at any time, independent. Then actually no, this is circular. The normal plasmid DNA will be like this. See, I have prepared a model using paper. This is actually the plasmid of any bacteria. Plasmid should be present in any type of bacteria. Okay, so this is actually circular, right? Circular. This is circular, and this one is extra chromosome. Why it is extra chromosomal? All the bacteria contains its main chromosome. Along with that, it will be lying beside in the cytoplasm. Correct? So DNA. It's DNA, right? Double stranded. Yes, right. So that is plasmid. So how do you remember if the question is asked in your examination for board examination? Remember RKCD. Autonomously replicating circular extra chromosomal DNA. Can you write the definition even though it is given in the notes? Just write out, very important. Okay. So ORI site is compulsory for the replication. Recombinant DNA, it is nothing but foreign DNA, that is gene of my interest, with a vector. So that is recombinant DNA. Very important actually. Without construction of recombinant DNA, we cannot process the recombinant DNA technology or genetic engineering or biotechnology. It's impossible. Okay, we need to construct this. This is actually the second step actually. Okay, cloning is nothing but the multiplication of the recombinant DNA, which is independent. Why it is independent? Because of the vector. Vector is this archaicity. Done? Okay. Now I will have to erase this. You have to be very okay. Just a minute. You have to listen to me carefully now, because this is very important, very important. Palindromic sequence or palindromes. I'll just write one sentence. Madam, I am Adam. Okay. So let us imagine this is now a single stranded. The one strand of the DNA. Okay, I have taken a single strand of DNA, but anyhow, I'm going to draw one more strand of the DNA. Let us consider this is actually a single nitrogenous base. Okay, so this is now I have considered it as a single nitrogenous base. It could be purine or pyrimidine, it doesn't matter actually. Okay, this is the second one, third one, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we have 11 nitrogenous base present on single DNA strand. Okay, now what I am going to do is I will write M, A, D, yeah, okay, like this. Now can you read from this orientation, that is, let us consider this is 5 prime end and this is 3 prime end, and in this case opposite, right, 3 prime to 5 prime, the reading field. Madam, I am Adam. Okay, this is the reading sequence present on a strand which reads 5 prime to 3 prime, and now the reading strand should be same. We should not read from 3 prime to 5 prime. You should be very careful actually. The reading frame should be opposite. You have to start from this side, 5 prime to 3 prime itself. That means the reading should be always from a single direction. It should be always from 5 prime to 3 prime. It should not be 3 prime to 5 prime. Okay, you read it. Madam, I am Adam. Got it? So that is called as palindromic sequence. We'll give you one more example. Okay, in our genetic material, the DNA, the length of the DNA is 2 feet, it's 6 meters, sorry 2 meters, 6 feet. And here we have got so many millions of nitrogenous bases, right? We have so many base pairs in our single DNA, long DNA. Let me just write A, T, T. Okay, here I have written T, A, A. Simply I write G, A, A, T, T, C, and here I write A like this. Okay. Now again actually here we write the opposite, that is C, T, T, A, G and T like this. Here we have got palindrome sequence. You have to identify where exactly that palindrome is situated or present. We start from this particular sequence. Read from 5 prime to 3 prime. G, double A, double T, C. Okay, how many are there total? 6 nitrogenous base pairs are there on one single strand DNA. Again, this is 5 prime, right? This is 3 prime for the other strand, the opposite one, the anti-parallel strand. So reading should be like this. It should be kept same. Read G, double A, double T, C. Same, right? So this is palindrome. Okay, the palindrome sequences play an important role in recognition for restriction enzymes. So I'll tell you how exactly all this stuff works actually. So the definition of palindrome or palindromic sequence is like this. The sequence of base pairs. Okay, we just write it. Sequence of nitrogenous base pairs read the same. Exactly same. That is what actually madam I am Adam. From other strand also like madam I am Adam. That's it. Okay, sequence of the nitrogenous base read the same on both the strands, which you should take 2 strands. Both the strands. When orientation, what is the orientation here? One strand 5 prime to 3 prime. The other strand is 3 like this, but it should be like this. You have to read 5 prime to 3 prime. Yes, when the orientation is kept same, that's it. So this is palindrome. Okay, so sequence of the nitrogenous base pairs GAATC and again GAATC from other strand. Okay, they read the same, right? Yes, read the same on both the strands when orientation is kept same. This is very important. When orientation is kept same. Now, what is? Don't be confused with the orientation. Orientation is this. This is the rule we need to follow when we read the sequences. Okay, one strand it will be like this, 5 prime to 3 prime, but the other strand again 5 prime to 3 prime. We should not start from 3 prime to 5 prime. That is wrong. Got it? So this is actually the palindromic sequences. So the thing is, we'll give you one good example for a palindrome sequences. Okay. Suppose we consider this paper model as our DNA. See, it's very long. Okay, our DNA. Here you need to identify where exactly that particular palindrome sequences are present. Where exactly? It's very difficult. You need to find. You need to read the sequences. The one strand should go from 5 prime. This is 5 prime end, and this is 3 prime end. The other end. And the other strand again actually it is 5 prime. The other one here it is 3 prime. If you go through it, if you just pause the video and just read, if you could read the sequences, you find 3 palindromic sequences. Find it if you can. Okay, 3 are there. So this is very important. What is the significance of palindromic sequence? In all the DNA, you take any type of living organism, this is compulsory. It will be there. Okay, so this is very, very important for the action of restriction enzymes. Okay, restriction enzymes. There are so many different types of restriction enzymes. We have already, like the scientists have discovered around 300 restriction enzymes. Okay, and each restriction enzymes are specific on a specific palindrome sequences. It is not like one. See, I have just given one example, that is GAATC. It could be different. For example, see, this is another palindrome sequence for another restriction enzyme. It varies. It goes like that. It varies. Got it? So this is there in our DNA. In any type of DNA, you take vector, it also got the same. So this is the thing. Okay. So if you take any plasmid, a vector, cosmid, whatever it is, this palindromic sequence should be there. Okay. Last one is transformation. Very simple. Now I have already constructed a recombinant DNA, rDNA. So now I am going to introduce into a host. It could be, for example, for our understanding, we consider E. coli. So I have already introduced this rDNA into this. The E. coli is now transformed. Why it is transformed? Because it's going to produce a new protein. Who produces new protein? Our gene of interest produces new protein. So this new protein is going to change the phenotype of this E. coli. Correct? Yes, right. So it is transformation. Hope you understood. What is transformation? It is the uptake of the foreign DNA by a living organism and it changes its phenotype, that is transformation. Hope you understood. Yes.